I've been hoping this will last. I know we were moving fast. I would cherish every moment, every kiss and every touch. You're my summer love, yeah.
No rewinding, no rewinding, forward motion.
Bitch, I'm a vet, I got rank, I got stain, nigga. Ice my bitch, ice my wrist, mud in my drink, nigga.
Eyes are diamond, I keep it shining, forward motion.
Real in my veins, no vein cane, and I'm that pain, nigga. My bitch bad and way too real to fuck with a lame, nigga.
I keep it shining, my mind's a diamond, my mind.
You know that won't play like me. Some things that your money won't reach. Then she gave no love for me. Oh, yeah. You know that won't play like me. Some things that your money won't reach. Then she moves so sexually. It's a me or no. 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 Gotta keep them pockets greased up, can't slip. Gotta get my mama's new whip, new crib.
Hello, I'm Allee Major, and I'm here with my fabulous co-hosts, Maie-Jean and Keya. Tonight we have a very special guest named Josh, and we're diving into a very thought-provoking topic. What makes a high-valued partner? Now we're going to challenge, pardon me right quick. Now we're going to challenge the idea of high-valued individuals. Let's explore that together. Hello, Josh. How you doing tonight? I'd like to introduce our special guest first. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, sir. I'm doing very good myself, if I may say. Feel very blessed, and tonight is a very good night. As we get set up, I'm sorry, things are a little crazy, and as you see, my co-host, Keya, is in the ER right now. She's in the hospital, but she felt so strong about this show that she was empowered to show up. So I want to congratulate her. She's a warrior. Thank you, May. You can finish, May. I'm sorry.
No, I just said I hope you're okay, Keya.
May, just going through it, bro.
Absolutely. But we'll touch on that in a little bit. I would like to get back into the topics, and I would like to say, May, you brought Josh on the show, and you had the show topic. So let me hear it. What's going on?
So, how are you, Josh?
I'm good. How are you?
Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear myself, Ollie.
Okay, I can hear you. You sound dissonant right now. But I can hear you, actually. I can hear your voice.
I can hear you.
Okay, as long as you can hear me. So, I invited you on the show today, Josh, because I wanted to talk to you about being a high-value partner and what that means, and realistic expectations in regards to date based on your value in this system. So I wanted to ask you to just give us a little briefing on how you feel about all that.
On how I feel about a high value partner.
So we can start out by what defines a high value partner?
Okay. Well, I would say first and foremost, you have to dispense with what's called the blank slate egalitarianism, because what makes a man high value to a woman is different than what makes a woman high value to a man, because we have different expectations from each other. So when we say a high value man is someone who has a good job, his own home, He's able to provide and protect for whoever he's with. That makes a man high value because those are things that a woman is looking for in a man. Where the problem comes in, and when it comes down to modern day, I'd say, relationships and dating, is that women have this misconception that if they have a good job and if they are able to provide, that makes them high value. Now, it makes them high value when it comes down to their perceived personal worth. But when it comes down to a man, if the man is high value and he has a good job and he can provide and protect, then a woman's job really doesn't factor in. So that is where I come off. I think that we have a big problem with what's called blank slate equalism. What makes a man attractive to a woman and what makes a woman attractive to a man is completely different. But it seems like modern day women think that if they have the same characteristics as a man, that makes them high value to men, and it just doesn't. So that's how I quote unquote.
So what makes
feel
a woman high value to a man?
What makes a woman high value?
What makes a woman high value?
Okay,
Yes.
so
what makes the woman in your mind then? So if it's not money or status or power or anything that they can provide, what exactly makes a woman valuable to a man then?
Okay, very simple. Youth, beauty, femininity. Those are things that make a woman high value to a man. So does she have children by another man? If the answer is yes, that lowers her value. If a woman is not respectful or she's very masculine, that lowers her value. I'm not saying that takes away all her value, but these are things that lower her value to a high status man. And you have to understand, like, we all have to stay, there's when we tell people to stay in their lane, what you're able to provide to a prospective partner is what determines your value. So it's important that you know your own personal worth, that you have a realistic perception of your own personal worth before you start making demands, for a prospective partner.
Okay. May, I'm gonna let you continue. May, but I'd like to ask him a question right quick.
I just have one other thing to say.
Okay, go ahead. Come on, May. Go ahead, May.
The only problem with that, Josh, is that looks guy. So if that's the only thing of value that a woman has, if you're married to someone for 20 years and they get breast cancer,
can you hold on?
Hold on, May. Hold on 1 second, May.
I have to turn up the volume. Okay, go ahead. I just had to turn up the volume. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
So what I said was, everything you gave as a female value was incredibly shallow. And the problem with that is, it does not reflect on any kind of love or commitment or relationship, because as a woman, let's say I'm beautiful and we're 20 and I'm a virgin, right? So I'm your best case scenario. I'm exactly what you want, whatever. I get pregnant and I get that disease where all my teeth fall out. You don't love me anymore. You're going to discard me. What if I get breast cancer when we're in our 30s? You discard me? Everything you say is surface value at that point. So what happens when those things, so you're telling me then a man can discard, if they're high value, can discard their partner at any point when their beauty or their external whatever fades. I mean, that's not love.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him answer the question before I continue. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You can go ahead, Josh.
Okay, I was gonna say.
You can go ahead, Josh. I'm gonna let you answer because I enjoy listening sometimes. So you can go ahead.
Okay. All right. I heard everything you said. Well, if you thought what I said was shallow before, then this is probably going to be even worse. But I would say it depends on the man, because for better or worse, yes, his status is going to determine how much he's willing to tolerate. So if a man, is of a status as to where I met this woman, she was everything that I wanted when we first met, well, then it's his decision on whether, if she faces some kind of hardship or disease where her 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 features or whatever start to diminish because things happen, and it's going to be on him on whether or not if he decides to stay with her and see her through these things. That's totally on him. But once again, if you want to ask me the question, well, does he have a right to discard her? Well, the answer is yes, he does have that right. And I'm going to say that it works the same in the other direction. If you meet me as a man and I'm providing and doing everything that I'm supposed to do as a man, and then one day you and I are on my boat and I dive off my boat and hit my head on a rock and I'm paralyzed and I can no longer provide for you and protect you that I used to, I think you are well within your rights to leave me because I'm not the man that you married. This is not what you signed up for. You didn't sign up for taking care of a paraplegic. So in that aspect, I
Josh,
think there is an
now
equalism.
Okay,
That's
May. Let me step in right now because I would like to ask Josh a couple things, and I would like to say something to him.
Can I
because he
gag
said-
him first before
Yeah,
you do
you
that?
can gag all you want because I'm about to gag the shit
He's
out of him because he
dying
just
to
said
gag
some
right
bullshit.
now.
Yeah,
He just said some
I'm waiting
bullshit.
for the statistics now.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ali.
All right,
We
all
on
right.
the same page.
Mr. Josh, I would like to say one of the traits of being a high valued man is integrity. Another trait of being a desirable high value man is to you stated it, is to protect. You stated the shit, and now you're telling me that as soon as she becomes not worth to you, your job to protect is done. You're through. You throw her away, you discard her, you throw her out to the wolves to be fucked up or however you see it. And then you, on the other hand, pick a new trophy and then go on with the new trophy until she's dusty and then you get rid of her ass too. Is that did I catch that right?
No. What I said was
That's
is
my guy.
that no, what I said was depending on the status of the male, it's his prerogative whether or not he wants to do that. That's what I said. So is there a man that if his status is high enough, is it his prerogative to do that if he wants to? Absolutely. But it's up to him and her to decide, okay, well, is this what I want? Is this what you want? If the answer is no, and she's like, you know what, this is not what you signed up for. If you want to leave, you know what I mean? It's not all on one person, but once again, it all depends on the status of the person.
But by what you're saying, it is on one person. You're talking about the status of one person. If the other person isn't up to the status of the other person, then they're non-valid. They are a non-exception. That is absolutely not ethical value. That is not integrity. And I say that that's bullshit. If you sit there with a woman and let's just say, do you have any kids? Let me ask you.
No.
Okay. Me, myself, I have no kids either. Have you ever been incarcerated?
No.
Ever an infraction, anything?
Oh, yeah,
infraction.
Absolutely.
Okay, that right there goes against your high value record. Hold on. Not only that, let me ask you, how many connections would a high valued man have? How many connections would a high valued man have?
What do you mean by connections?
Well, connections are known from being a high valued man. The more connections you have, the more high value you are. Let's say you're a man with 50 connections. And out of these 50 connections, you know other connections. They're able to do more than you would if you had no connections and you just had a bucket of money. All you'd be able to do is offer them the cash. But you wouldn't be able to do anything as far as to call somebody and get the job done.
Oh, you mean networking?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, I just didn't know what you meant by connections. So, like, I hear what you're saying. And I just want to, like, I think it's important to address what you said when we're talking about morals and ethics.
They're all encountered into a high valued man. Please don't separate those.
Okay.
They are.
Okay. And that's where I disagree.
You can't.
Know what I mean?
I can pull up facts.
I think that.
No, sir.
Well, no, for me, it's not fact versus fiction. For me, what I'm saying is that unfortunately, in a litigious society that we live in, the less moral and the less ethical you are, the higher your status can become. Because if you don't worry about the outcome higher and higher, then the less ethical and moral you are, but the highest your status becomes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because when you look at the people who have the most power in our society, they are not ethical and they are not moral. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to the highest.
Do you think that they look at themselves? Do you think they look at themselves and classify themselves as a high valued person? Because I think they don't. I don't think they pay it one mind. I don't think a high valued person pays that phrase even one thought.
I agree with you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But here's the thing. Just because someone doesn't classify themselves as a high value person, man or woman, it doesn't matter. Because I always tell people, if you have to make the proclamation that you are high value or that you are alpha, then you're not that. Why? Because a lion does not have to walk through the jungle saying, I'm a lion.
I'm a lion. That's right.
You're right. No, they don't do that, right? Lions don't have to do that. Because when a lion walks through the jungle, all the animals know he's a lion. So they don't have to make proclamations. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what's said.
My final question before I let May dig a deeper hole here, because I think there's more to come. I would like to ask you, are you a high valued man? Because I heard that you said you were. So I'd like to ask you, are you?
I've never said that.
Oh, I was under the impression that you did say that. No. That changes the whole scripture, because I was told that you did say that. But May, please clean this up and let me know. Let me know what's going on here.
Well, can I address?
Hold on, can I ask one question real quick?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Keya.
Can I address that before you say anything?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just going to say one thing, Keya, and then by all means, you've been sitting there silent. I don't know how, because you've been waiting to dig in. Okay, so let me say this. I will never make the proclamation of being an alpha. I will never make the proclamation of being high value, because it's not up to me. Okay. It's up to society and the opposite sex to determine through my actions what I am. If I just, if it's better to, obviously not to come to, so demonstrate, you know what I mean? So if I, through my actions, and other people perceive me to be a certain way, and they want to call me alpha or they want to call me high value, that's up to them. I will never make that proclamation. Okay?
I'm on a different stroke. I'm on a different stroke, brother. I'm on a different stroke. Keya, I'm about to give it to you. I'm on a totally different stroke.
Okay, Keya,
you say you'll never say it. You say you'll never say it. I call myself this on my own. I say I stand alone, and I stand as a man, and I'm strong as fuck by my damn self, and I don't give a fuck. So that's what I do. Keya, go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So first question, because we got this from the guest: is you married?
No,
you can't be married the way that you talking. Hell no, because it sounds like. I asked, "Are you married?"
And I said no, and then I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, I said you have. It's kind of hard for you to even be giving out the examples that you given, because number one, you ain't married. So how old are you for you to not be married, for you to consider yourself a high value man? You saying that you don't classify as a high value man, and that comes from somebody else, right? But you just basically gave the examples of you using a female by their looks and their body and this and that, versus actually getting to know them, their personality. Like whether a bitch got a kid or not ain't got shit to do with high value. Whether a bitch wash dishes and you wash dishes, it's no point.
Okay, Keya, men and women look at things a different way. I'm gonna stand up for the brother on one thing, and this is it. You guys could shoot me, you guys could hate me, you guys could say whatever. He's looking at it through a guy with money, and he's looking at it as the liability of what she has done already to her life. I can say he's gonna shake his head and say yes to that.
But either way you look at it, where's the equality? Where's the
I
equality
didn't.
though?
Where's
There's
the
no
equality for
equality. There
him?
is no
Where's the
integrity.
equality for him? He's saying that he has to spend bread on that opposition. I understand some men don't really care about where the money goes, but some men, as he has spoken himself, do have a problem with where their money goes, and they do have a problem with that issue. I've heard that issue through many guys before. I've heard it. That's why I stood up and said it, because I've heard it before. You guys can keep going. May, you can keep going. I'm sorry for interrupting.
I'm about to say, go ahead, man. You got it.
Oh, what?
So-
Keya, do you have anything
excuse
else?
me. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
You sat
Do I what?
quiet for a time, so I was wondering if you had anything else, because I'm writing down everything you say so I can address it. So if you have anything,
Oh no,
else,
don't worry. I'm gonna come back to you.
you
Don't
are.
worry, I'm coming back.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm
okay,
coming
so
back.
can I respond to what she said before May goes, or May?
You have all the courtesy to go ahead and respond, please.
Okay, all right. Well, number one, you brought up marriage. That's the first thing you brought up. You said, "Are you married?" And obviously the answer is no. And then you said, "Well, if you're not married, you're not qualified to spout off what you're saying." Once again, this is a common misconception, because for women, marriage is a measure of success. For men, marriage is not a measure of success. It's actually, these days, it's kind of a measure of failure, because any man, especially when it comes down to younger men, what do you want? You want unlimited access to unlimited partners. That's kind of what men want. And when we forgo, no. What you have to understand is I'm talking from a standpoint of evolutionary biology. I'm not talking about what society has put on us as, okay, well, as a man, your job.
I think in
is
evolutionary biology, they didn't want to have sex with every woman too. That right there. Not. I'm sorry, as a man, I don't want to sleep with every single woman. I'm sorry, I love my shit a little too much to sleep with every single woman. All right.
And I agree with you, and I agree with you, and I think that, once again, that I think that's a put on by society. But when you just, it's so simplistic when you look at evolutionary biology. There's a reason why a man can impregnate many women, but once a woman becomes pregnant, she gestates for 9 months. So I mean, if our society, if our population was dependent on a woman's prerogative, civilization would die. You understand what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that there needs to be a common, basic understanding of biology. So just to go back, I'm sorry, it's Keya, or it's Keya, correct? Not Keya?
It's Keya, but why are we on evolutionary science when we
He's trying to break it down, but women are the mothers of all civilization. Women are the mothers of civilization, dude.
That's why I'm trying to figure out where's the evolutionary biology and science coming from versus the statistics of what you're saying to me. Because all of this shit you're saying to me, bro, that is opinionated in my personal. This is opinionated. This is not a factual conversation. Pull up the statistics and show me how many males think the way you think.
Keya, just think about it. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. But just think of what he said. Just listen to what he's saying, Keya.
Okay. Well, the reason why I brought up evolutionary biology and biology is because society is downstream from biology. Biology is here, and then society becomes after that. Okay, so that's why I brought it up, because everything that we have here is downstream from biology. So when you said, are you married? I said no. Marriage is not a measure of success in a man's life. It's a measure of success in a woman's life. Why? Because it's a male's prerogative evolutionarily to be with as many females as possible. Why? Because it's basic evolution. We want to propagate the species. But when it comes down to women, what do you do? It's about finding a good guy and locking that good guy down. Okay? Because it's very easy for a woman to have sex with a man, but it's very hard for her to lock down a man that she wants. Okay? And it's the opposite for men. It's very difficult for a man to even have to get a woman. So when I say, when you say, are you married? I'm like, well, it's not a really pertinent question, because it's not a measure of success for men. And another thing you said, well, where's the equality? And if you remember at the beginning of the conversation, I said equality is not a question, because we are not equal. Men and women are very different. We want different things from each other. We expect different things from ourselves, and so on. So there is no equality. There is zero equality. What you want from me, Keya, if I was to date you, and what you want from me is completely different. Okay? I don't want you to be tall and big and handsome and successful with a lot of money. That's not what I want from you as a woman. And as a man, it's absolutely going to be different. You're not going to want me to be feminine and submissive and want to do the housework and all that. So there is no equality. So when you ask me where the equality is, there is none, because we're not equal and we don't want the same thing from each other. And I'm done.
But what about the people that
some
do
of the things
the same things?
Both of you were
Can I ask
talking.
this one question?
Yeah, go ahead, Keya. You got it.
Okay, you just used a female being tall, a female being more built. What if the person can't help that? I got people in my family that's 6'3". I got women in my family that's 6'3", 6'7". They can't do nothing about their height. So how do they height got something to do with it? How do you dictate over
Allie, that's exactly not what I was.
All right, just listen. What he's saying here is based on history. What he's saying here is based on history, and believe it or not, there was their alley rats and scallywags and harlots and all of those things going on. The people at the bottom of the barrel that they casted out of the kingdoms. There were those people, and let's face it, even in today's society, we face those structures. Though that is the problem we face in society, though that is what's wrong. And this is a big problem that's going on in society. And this is basically what I'm getting from it is an ego trip. I'm really getting sides of ego. And this is what it's based on. It's based on white men from golf clubs trying to act like they were better than other people. This is where it started. This is where the phrase started from. It started from white gentlemen who wanted to separate themselves from the rest of the people. So they upperclassed themselves, they dressed in suits, they put on wigs. And you remember them little white wigs with the curls right here the judges used to wear and shit? Those were considered high classmen back in the days because they had those stupid ass wigs. But then still, when it really broke down to it and you asked them about manhood, or they had to stand up for their manhood or anything like that, they really called tragedy, and then they hung or got whoever did the travesty killed because they weren't strong men themselves. They were just people who knew how to network and people who had a long following behind them. And that's where the words high valued men come from. It really comes from a collective group of men who thought they were higher than thou.
Listen, I understand the history of the white men with the wigs. I get that. I get all of this. But at the end of the day, it's 2024. We're going into 2025. Why the fuck do you still give a fuck about how society view you?
You shouldn't care, but people do care because their egos and their emotions lead them. Go ahead, man. Let me hear what you got.
Josh, I've heard you say before in several conversations we've had that you did not bring yourself to the point of success that you have to make the amount of money you have to ever be with one woman.
No.
You also said
no.
Hold on.
You promised me you promised me you wouldn't do this.
No,
oh shit.
This is part of hold on, no, because this is part
no,
of
because
I promise you.
No, you promised me you wouldn't do what you're doing because I never said that.
You did say that. You said
no,
specifically you didn't do it to fuck one pussy. You said I don't make $100,000 a year to fuck one pussy. That's what you said. That's not what I said.
That's absolutely not what I said.
Okay, then what did you say? Did you say?
Okay, well, okay, so here's
okay, well,
let's get this right.
Let me finish my thought. So then you've also said, hold on. Then you also said that although you will sleep with single mothers, that they have no value to date, and that you would never take them seriously and or have a committed relationship with them, even if you were to have a committed relationship.
I never said that.
Because a woman loses her value the minute she gives away her uterus, regardless of the situation.
I never said that. I don't believe this.
Yes, you did say. You did say that. Yes, you did, sir.
Clarify what you said.
Okay.
Here's the problem. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Allie, please. You want me to go?
Don't listen. I'm not in that because I wouldn't say that.
Okay, mate. Remember, I mean, we spoke twice before this, and I said, the one thing that you can't do on the podcast is say, well, Josh, you said, because you're going to say what I didn't say, and then I'm going to have to not only correct you, but I have to defend myself against the position that I don't have.
No, you don't have to defend yourself. I just want you to correct what you said. That's what you said to me.
No, but I didn't say that.
So that's where this conversation of high valued man comes from. That's where this conversation comes from. She told me the same things, by the way.
Even if you didn't,
right? But I didn't say that. So here's the thing.
So what's your standpoint, May? Can I?
We'll say you didn't say that, right? You go out with 1 million girls, right? You show them all up on social media.
Damn, you just putting that nigga out there.
And you don't date and
damn.
I do.
Even the one you call your best friend because she doesn't meet your definition of a high value.
Damn.
So I'm just asking you to make it make sense a little bit.
Okay, well, you said make it make sense.
Where's
well,
the
first
boom
of all,
at, Ali? You were supposed to hit the boom. The
I was looking for it. I was looking for the gunshots, nigga. Oh shit! Made him pull the hat out of him.
Right.
Oh
well,
shit!
And like I said, I specifically addressed this, twice, and I'm actually shocked that you did it because I said the one thing you can't do, or the one thing you shouldn't do.
You said,
I can't even finish the sentence now. Here we go. I can't even finish the sentence.
May, give him a second. Give him a second, man. Let him tell his standpoint, please.
Yeah, you just talked. You just misquoted me and said things.
All right, so let's get over that. Now tell me what your quote is. Let me hear your quote.
Okay, so let's please, for the sake of the rest of the podcast, don't say, Josh, you said, and then quote me wrong. And then I have to defend myself against something I didn't say. I asked you not to do that 3 times. You said I won't do that. And here you are.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, right. So I said, if you think I said something, okay, fine. Just ask me the question. Don't tell me what I said because I did not say that.
True.
Okay, so let's do this systematically. Ask me a question, and then I will answer.
May start with did you say?
And want me to
start with did you say?
Do you feel that a high value man is ever faithful to a woman?
A high value man can choose to be faithful to a woman, yes.
No, that's not what I've said. That's not what I'm asking you. I didn't ask you if they choose to. I said, in your opinion, do high men...
Yes.
Because you even said on this point that the men you want, even if you have them to some measure, you're not going to keep them because they are usually pursuing many women. And am I correct? Is that what you said earlier in the podcast? That men propagate, right? That men are sleeping with as many women as possible. Am I correct? Because I don't want to...
Now, hold on before you answer that question. Hold on before you answer that question, please. We're going to go to a commercial break. Okay, Josh, I would like for you to come in and give your answer to what you were just asked by May.
Okay. Once again, okay, you asked me a question. I said, if a man chooses to be faithful, as a high value man, if he chooses to be faithful, then yes, it's possible. So, like, I don't understand what you don't get about that.
That's because listen, because that's not what I'm saying. You're saying the majority would not choose that.
The majority of high status men would not choose to be faithful? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
No.
No, that's what I'm asking.
What I said is, okay, just ask me a flat out question so I can answer it. Ask me a flat out question.
But you're avoiding it.
I'm not avoiding anything. I'm asking you.
Again,
what's the question?
Let's go back to your. I'm trying to ask you the question. So even in terms of your social media presence, right? Mm-hmm. You present with many, many, many females all the time.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Right? Yet you don't have significant relationships with any of them.
No, I don't.
Okay. And half of the ones you do go out with, you, according to your standards, would not be dateable anyway. So my question to you is then, what is your intentions?
Whoa.
And
Whoa.
Where do you and how you that most men feel like you do, that they just want to propagate? Like, that's what I'm asking you to clarify. So where does the actual connection come in, and where do you have an actual intimate relationship with someone as opposed to propagating?
Okay, no, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so if you're asking me on a personal level, okay, why do I have a lot of female friends that I do hang out with. Correct. Yes. Are a lot of them what I would consider to be where I am right now undateable? Yes, because many of the female friends that I have, because of, my sphere, a lot of them are single mothers. So yeah, I have a lot of friends who are single mothers. That's fine. And we go out and we have a great time. Are they dateable for a serious relationship? For other men, yes. For me, no. Because I don't date single moms. It's that simple. Now, other men, obviously there are men out there that do exactly that. And that's their prerogative. So when you're asking me, well, where does the connection come in? Well, the connection would come in if a woman that I'm hanging out with
possesses a high value person wouldn't do that. So that's what I'm asking you to clarify. Because then according to you, someone who has a high value is not going to.
That's not what I said.
But
that's absolutely not what I said.
It's yes, because you say, but you're saying one thing, but then you say, well, maybe not other people. So it's either yes or no. Either men practically have a million relationships and blah blah blah, and that's all they care about is sex and beauty, or they're capable of having intimate relationships. Like, where you can't go back and forth between the two to make yourself look better as a person for your beliefs, and that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
No, you're completely right. And okay, here we go. Like, you're completely wrong in what you're saying, because you're trying to address the issue as if it's black and white. You have to understand, human beings are so dynamic that not everything that I say is going to absolutely apply to every single man or every single woman. I'm talking generalities, okay? In general, men do this. In general, women do that. Now, you're going to have the 10, 20, 30% that are going to do other things, because you have very high value men that I call blue pill alphas that do things that they really shouldn't do. Okay, Will Smith is a blue pill alpha. He's a bitch, okay? He is getting punked by a ball-headed 50-year-old C-list actress.
You can't say that about the man, though. You can't say that about that man.
I can absolutely say that about
you. You can't say that about that man. You can't say that about that man. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you can't say that about that man. You don't know
Okay,
that man.
tell
You
me.
don't know the circumstances.
I don't have to know him.
You no.
I don't
Hold
have
up.
to know him.
That man has a professional career where he's
Gag,
at
that's not
a
fair. That's not fair.
award that he's at an award show. Now, mind you, yes, he did, and mind you, I'm a different person than he is actually. But then still, I don't know what I don't know what that man's life is. So I can't call him a bitch. I can't call him none of that because he might sit here and fuck you up. He might. Who knows?
That's fine. That's okay. And a man's ability to fuck me up doesn't change the truth.
Yeah,
If
but
you
how
are
can
gonna
you
sit
call
at
a
the
man?
table and
How
talk-
can you call a man that if he actually? How can you call a man that if he can actually whoop you?
Okay. I'm not talking about his physical prowess.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Yeah, but you just
his
said he
mentality in his
stood up and got
relationship.
smoked. He
If
said,
you are sitting at a red table talk and your wife is telling you how she fucked your son's friend,
yes.
and you're sitting there with tears in your eyes, you
listen.
are a bitch.
Nah,
Okay.
I can't call that man that. I don't know his circumstance. That's your ideology. That's your opinion.
Gag.
That right there is your opinion. And for real, you can't
Absolutely.
call that man that. That right there is a false opinion. I can ask you questions about yourself, and I can actually get bad opinions. I can ask you questions right now, but like unlike Maie-Jean, I don't really know you like that. I don't talk to you like that. But through your conversation, my brother, I will tell you that it's off. It's absolutely off, and you really need to understand your position. The attributes and physical traits of a high value man is something that for real, you and me, I'm gonna put myself in that boat because I'm a felon, my brother. It don't even matter. I don't give a shit about that right there. All I care about is making bread. So all the rest of that shit about wondering if this woman wants me or something like that. Listen, man, that shit can go past me for real, because that's not my main attraction in life. My main attraction in life is my comfortability, stability, how good I do, what I bring to the world, how I change things. These are what matters to me. All the rest of that shit right there could blow ass because for real, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Just because you feel that this woman is low value doesn't mean the next man is going to feel that she's low value. Because this woman is on your jockstrap and feels like you're a high value man, don't mean the next chick is going to want you. In fact, there's millionaires that chicks will not sleep with. So you can't blame it on money. But then still the traits in the actual the person is what attracts people to them. So I understand confidence. I understand all of that right there. But then still you have to understand that you can't downgrade another person or push back. I wonder why you undermine yourself by picking females that you'll never have a relationship with. This is a problem within you. That means your self-esteem is low. Because check it, you're dealing with women all the time. You say it yourself. You're dealing with women that you'll never date, that you can't date.
I can't date? What do you...
No, you said yourself, you're dealing with women that you yourself do not want to date. Am I correct? You got baby mothers. All the women you're messing with. But then
Not
still you won't deal with a baby mama. You won't deal with a baby mama. So basically you're using the shit out of her for your own pleasures. And I don't know what she's getting out the deal. Basically, that's what you're doing, my brother. You can't deny that. You're dealing with that for your own pleasures, knowing that you will never have a relationship with her after that, knowing that you feel that she's beneath you in the first part. You feel like she's beneath you. You said that yourself, and I listened to you wholeheartedly. And now I'm just gonna bat that shit down because that's fucked up. That's a fucked up way to live in a life. And every relationship you build is going to be fucked up because of your mentality. But yet still, May, I will let you continue because I would like to see where you're going with this. I would like to say high value men are often characterized by traits such as wealth, status, physical attractiveness, and social influence. This concept suggests that men who possess these attributes are more desirable in relationships and have a higher social standing. The concept of high-valued men often centers around the qualities that are desirable in the context of a romantic relationship, such as ambition, confidence, and emotional stability. However, the term can also be extended to development, career success, and social status. In this broader sense, the emphasis Attributes like leadership, integrity, and self-improvement can apply to various aspects of any life, not just romantic context that deals with high-value men or women, because women can be of high value too. So, May, I would like to now let you go ahead and see where you're trying to go with this.
Can I address that?
Yes, you can. By
So
all
my
means.
question to you
Hold on,
is,
May, can you let him address me right quick, please? I'd like to know if he got a problem with what I said.
yeah,
Please, come on with it.
absolutely.
Right. Okay. Well. First off, and thank you for sharing your thoughts. The one thing that I don't want to do is, I know how I come off, and it's because I feel very strongly about what I say and what I feel. But when you say things, you did say a couple things that are incorrect as far as me personally.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends who are single moms, and I don't look at them as though they are beneath me. Today I was hanging out with a friend of mine who is a single mom, but she's just a friend. She's engaged to a friend of mine, and we went out and we had a great time. It's not about, it's not a status. I mean, she's a really good person. She's very intellectual. We had a great conversation. We've been friends we were talking about it. We've been friends for a decade, and she's a great person. Just because there's no quote unquote romantic connection, it doesn't mean that I look down or diminish her as a person, or I don't think she has anything to offer me in my life. She has a lot to offer me. Why else would I hang out with someone where there's no romantic connection for 10 years? I don't have sex with my friend's wife.
Oh,
so
okay. All right. There you go. I didn't
don't
know.
have sex.
Listen, brother. All I can go by is what you said. Yeah. And what you told me is that you have connections with women that have children. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And then if we can go there also. Okay. So yeah, there are single mothers that I've had intimate relationships with. Absolutely. Now, if I choose, I'm 100, and May can attest to this. I am 100% honest about my intentions. I will not, engage with someone intimately without saying that, hey, look, we can do this, but it's never going to mature into this because I'm not into that. You know what I mean? So it's not, once again, it's not about a diminishment. It's about a preference. It's like me asking May, would you ever date a man who was 5'1"? It's not that she thinks he's a bad person or she thinks she's above him in what, whether it comes down to height or not. It's that she probably would prefer not to date a man who's 5'1". It's preference. It's not about diminishing the person because they don't meet a specific thing that you're looking for. It's the same thing with me.
Is he tall
Just because
when
someone
he lays
is
down, Josh?
You tell me, sweetheart. And did we wish May a happy birthday?
Happy birthday, May. Thank you. I did wish her one, but I'll say it again. Happy birthday, May. At this time right here, I got something for you guys. We're getting ready to, matter of fact, you know what time it is. All right. We're on our random screen. And tonight's random question is... It's from Media and News. What is your take on dating apps with people in high valued worth? And I'd like to start with Josh.
Dating apps are a joke.
Thank you. May, can I get your thoughts on what dating app, on your take on dating apps and how it deals with high value? I will elaborate on that if you want. Okay.
I personally don't like dating apps at all, and for me, the way I'm set up as a person, I can't successfully use dating apps because it just becomes like clearing my screens. I can't look at them enough. It's too overwhelming for me, and I don't feel like you can get enough of of what a person's like, Like Absolutely. The last time, even now, like the last time I looked on, what's it say? When I looked on Tinder, it's like 5,000 people. Like, how do you even begin to separate any of that? It's too much. I can't.
All right, Josh. Let me go ahead and let you elaborate on that question a little bit more.
I couldn't have said it any better than May did, because dating. I mean, I don't. Do you know if the person asking the question was male or female?
I do not. The questions come in random, and that's a random question right there. So the question came in random.
Okay. So there's a wonderful
hold on.
book out there. Okay.
Yeah, keep going. I got something wrong with the screen. I'm about to fix right now.
Okay, all right. There is a wonderful book out there called Dataclysm. And it was written by one of the founders of OkCupid, and he got together with the data collectors from OkCupid, Hinge, Bumble, and I believe it was Tinder. And what they did was they compiled, who swipes right on who, male, female, and what the statistics were. Okay, what they were able to determine is that 100% of women thought that 80% of men were unattractive. Not average, unattractive. So 100% of the women, whether they were a 0 or a 10, were chasing the top 20% of men. The top 20%. And if you want to, right. And if you want to figure an averages, okay, on what that means is when they started doing individual interviews with women, you had one woman who had 10,000 matches in 6 months. Okay. Out of the 10,000 matches, she responded to X amount of texts. She went on X amount of dates, and then she had X amount of sex with X amount of people. Out of 10,000 matches, how many guys do you think were potential dating material or that she ended up with? Out of 10,000.
Probably.
Give me a number.
2, 1, 2,
Five.
1, 3.
2?
Yeah, 2,
Five.
1, 3.
0.
Yeah, exactly.
0
dating pools are really small. Dating pools are really small.
Men, out of 10,000 men, not one guy fit the bill. Okay.
Dating pools are really small. Women are
Allee
picky.
Major, you make a dating app profile. How many matches do you get a week?
I'm probably this is you gotta understand, brother. Listen, my focus really I'm gonna tell you 0. And that part
0.
Isn't really I'm gonna tell you 0 because it doesn't really I don't want to sound like I don't care but there's a bigger picture in life that I'm looking at. I'm looking at something totally different. I'm not focused on that right there. That part of life right there is something that, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, guess what?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I agree with
you. Life to me pertains to eating, shelter, clothing. Those right there pertain to me of more importance than me chasing down some legs. I'm gonna be 1,000. Me chasing down legs.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. There are more important things in life.
Absolutely.
The only thing that I was talking about was the numbers. You 0, me 0, May 5,000.
It's different. Men is thirsty.
That's my point.
There's a lot of thirsty guys out there. All women have to do is post a picture and literally just kiss at the camera, and they'll get thousands and thousands of likes. But if you come with something creative and you took hours to do something and it's dope, guess what? They don't give a fuck. They don't care about that. They ain't got nothing. It's nothing of charity for them. So I get it. I understand that. I understand. Trust me.
She could take a picture of her foot and get more matches than me and you. Okay?
I get it. Trust me. I get it. But that's just the way life
I got
is.
nice feet.
Go on. Ah, shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the time of the show when we come to sound off about anything that is on your heart about the show or anything that went through the show or something that wasn't mentioned on the show. Now is your time. And I would like to give Josh the special guest entry to sound off on anything that happened or anything that he has to say about anything tonight.
Excellent show. I wish we had more time. I mean, this is a subject that we could talk about for probably the next 4 or 5 hours. No problem. We would never run out of subject matter. And I would just caution people, May, that when we're going to, when it comes down to discussing things, it's like it's very important that we ask straight questions and get direct answers, and that we don't answer from our feelings. We answer from facts. you know, and I'm very, very big on facts. And I like you. Thank you, Mr. Major, for your approach. You're like, hey, you said this, you said that. I agree with this. I don't agree with that. And then you gave me the opportunity to address what I didn't agree with. I agree with the rest of what you said. I'm not saying that, what I say is probably the best approach to things. It's my approach to things, and it saves me a lot of heartache. You know what I mean? Not bringing a woman into my life with 2 kids or 3 kids from 3 other men saves me a lot of heartache. I don't want a guy who used to stick his dick in my girlfriend coming to my house to pick up his bastard kids. And that's okay. Other guys may not have a problem with that. Other guys may say, hey, yeah, I don't care who used to put his dick in you. He can come to my house and pick up his kids. Okay? And if he's okay with that, that's fine. Live your life that way. I'm just not, I don't want to do it. And if that's my prerogative, I don't want to do it. And if other guys want to do that, that's fine.
May, your turn. Go ahead, May. Sound off, May.
So, okay.
May,
so this is my problem, okay? And this is where this is where I was trying to go the whole time. But again, you say things, but then you try to like sugarcoat them a little bit to make them sound better. And so my whole problem is everything that's been said. Hold on, listen. Everything that's been said, whatever, dismisses actual intimacy on any level. And the problem with that is, looks fade, money comes and goes, people die, people get sick. You made a statement. If you got paralyzed, would the woman stay with you? When you take vows for marriage, Josh, you say for better or for worse. Now, if you're a paraplegic for 20 years, and you're a vegetable, can I promise you that I'm not going to sleep with somebody behind your back while you're paralyzed? No. But am I going to come home and take care of you?
Man.
Absolutely.
It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up, man.
It's
fucked up, man. It's fucked up, man.
So my
she just said exactly what I said.
Listen, I know people that this happened to. They got into something at their body, ended up in the hospital, and they had a long-term recovery, and the woman ended up leaving them. And that is the fucked up part about real life and what we deal with people. Now, May, you're expecting a guy to trust and believe the fact that when he or if anything ever happens, that the marriage vow is to honor and be sanctified and stay there with your husband. But you just stated that, yeah, you'll be there. You'll give him a sandwich. No. But, you need to...
I said only if he was a vegetable and couldn't whatever. I'm not saying long-term recovery. But I'm saying if you're in a bed with a tube feeding for the rest of your life and a trach, and we're never going to be able to be intimate again, I'm not going to not love you and take care of you, but at some point, if it's been 15 years, like humans are humans.
Okay.
But to dismiss the people and to have no intimacy is a completely different thing.
Okay, we do have an audience member question I want to touch. We do have one audience member question I want to touch right quick, Josh, and this is for you. We have something from Jilly Jill. She says, you must only date virgins. That's what she said. You must only date virgins.
No.
No?
That's number one.
I mean, there was some statements. There was some bold statements that you made with a woman in her hit list. There was some very bold statements, and then there was some statements you made after that with the taking care of 3 kids with some jackass coming to the door trying to get his kids. You did make some pretty bold statements. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Well,
yes. Go ahead, May, right quick.
And just because you can see the kids is what makes it... Right, because then what happens is you're saying that it's only because you can see the kids that it's a problem. Because this woman that you're dating is never going to be a virgin, which means many men have stuck their dick in her. Just because she didn't produce something out of it doesn't change the fact that she still has the same body count. You just don't want to see it.
That's right.
No, that's not it. I don't want the dude coming to my house.
That is the problem.
I don't want him coming to my house to pick up his kids. There's a big difference.
But that's not true. So you've never messed with a girl?
That's not a big difference.
You've never messed with a girl that has messed with someone in your circle? Or someone you've known?
I don't want to mess with those, man. I try to stay away from that. But that does happen, and I know that a lot of times.
I know, but most people do.
Yep.
I'm with you, Allie.
Oh
You
shit.
know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, at this time I'm about to go to my final thought. As we wrap up tonight, I believe that any man can be of high value to the person who chooses him. Every man with all the money in the world, even men with all the money in the world can't have everything or every woman. The phrase high valued men often serves as an oxymoron, a label used to so-called call upperclassmen who may inadvertently belittle themselves. Real confidence doesn't stem from concern over whether a woman is attracted to them or from comparisons about status. True men focus on living their lives purposefully and treating women as equals, potentially partners, who can contribute mutual growth, not as disposable objects. Take Kevin Hart, for instance, who supported Tiffany Haddish in launching her career. Such actions exemplify the essence of high value. Every one of us has the potential to be high value because at any moment, any person can change and create something that benefits the world. Remember, even a dummy can do something smart, and a genius can also be so misguided that they cause harm with what seems to be a brilliant idea. Our true worth lies not only in status, but in our capacity to uplift others and make meaningful contributions to the world. I'd like to thank you for tuning into the show. This is the Gag Order. And tune in next week for the next Gag Order episode. Peace. Take it easy tonight. Thank you for showing up.